Peter is in Chiswick. Peter, question or answer?
Question.
Carry on.
If you throw something out of a plane, whether it's a cannonball or can of Coke or whatever, it reaches apparently 120 mile an hour, apparently. It's philosophy. I was watching David Attenborough the other night, and he was Planet Earth, and he was talking about an avalanche coming down the side of a mountain, reaching speeds of like 250 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So how's that possible? I mean, if anything, it'd be hitting off rock, it'd be friction. So how?
You'd think it would slow down. So what's it called? Terminal velocity or something like that? The maximum speed that a falling object can reach.
Yeah. So how can an avalanche?
Yeah, hang on. You mean, with the greatest of love and respect, mate, you're sounding a bit iffy on the facts.
No, I mean,
where did you get the original number from? Where did you get 120 miles per hour from?
I've just heard that all my life.
Have you?
I'm sure it's not much.
All your life?
I'm sure it's not. Okay, I'm not dead yet, but most of my life.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant I've been on this earth for 43 years. I've never heard of 120 miles an hour being a sort of let me just check with the office. Jones? Does it sound about right? No, I've not heard it all my life either. And then you were watching David Attenborough and he said 240 miles an hour. 250 miles an hour.
Yeah, but that's coming down the side of the mountain, which would be going slow. It'd be hitting rock and friction.
So, okay. So we need to establish whether your memory is correct here. Do avalanches travel faster than terminal velocity? And if so,
no, I didn't say that. David Attenborough said that.
Yeah, well, you might have misremembered.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Misheard. I mean, it's highly unlikely David Lord Attenborough has made a mistake on this.
Wrong. Exactly. Yes.
He's not a lord, actually. Is he? That was his brother.
But it was. I'm positive he said 250 miles.
All right, we'll find out.
I'll check again tonight, obviously, when I get home.
No, you don't need to do that. We'll take care of it. I've got you back here, mate. Don't you worry. All right. 122 miles an hour for a skydiver. Okay, and you think that David Attenborough said an avalanche goes faster? How can it? How can something falling through space go slower than something rolling down a hill?
Exactly.
Lawrence is in Kingston. Question or answer?
It's an answer.
Yes.
It's an answer to the question, why does an avalanche move quicker than, say, a cannonball falling?
Good luck.
The reason is because if you think about it, an avalanche is actually tons of tiny little bits of snow, and that's why it acts like a liquid that's why it covers people. And because it's so small, it has a lower resistance to the air. It has a lower it acts on less air, so it can move quicker.
It's perfectly possible that you've just answered the question, but I personally am not quite sure what you just said.
Okay. Well, imagine a...
Do we know for a fact that he was talking about snowy avalanches? Because you can get avalanches on dry mountains as well.
Well, you can, but...
but generally, we're thinking skiing disasters, aren't we? We're thinking avalanche. All right, so that's a given. Have another crack. Yeah. Just speak to me as if I'm incredibly stupid. It should be quite easy.
Okay. Imagine a cannonball. Imagine you've got a cannonball that's 50 centimetres in diameter. It's 50 centimetres wide.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you drop it, it's got quite a large surface area. It drags on a lot of air.
Yeah.
It has to push a lot of air out the way. Yeah. However, if you think about a piece of, like a little ball of snow that's tiny, say half a centimetre in diameter.
Okay.
That has to push less air out the way.
No, but if I dropped a marble out of a plane, it would reach the same maximum speed as a cannonball.
Okay.
Wouldn't it?
Well, actually, there would be slight differences. It wouldn't reach the identical speed because also weight comes into it.
Because of air resistance.
Air resistance, but also weight.
Stay there. You're doing very well, but I can see there's a professor on the horizon. But before that, Shane's in Camden. Shane, how's Lawrence doing?
Not too bad. I think he's getting the general gist of it. But the question in the first place was rather vague. So
yes, it was. But we're working on the presumption that he meant a snowy mountain, an avalanche in snow. Oh, he's gone. We're back to Lawrence. I've got a professor on the. I've got Professor Hal Lawrence, but I don't know if I sort of sense you're so close that we might not need to reach for academic verification on this. You should. All right, stay there, Lawrence. Professor Howe, what have you got?
The current question that's being answered.
Yeah. Come on, quick.
Terminal velocity is when the upthrust of the medium balances the force of gravity going down. So think about a beach ball falling beside a cannonball. The cannonball's going to move much faster.
Stay there, Hal. Lawrence, you needed phrases like upthrust and stuff like that, mate. You didn't have enough fancy language.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But then I told you to speak to me as if I was incredibly stupid, didn't I?
Yeah.
So that was my fault. Is Lawrence right, Professor Howe?
No, he's wrong.
No, he's not wrong. Don't be so mean.
No, you asked me a direct question with a yes/no answer.
Well, why is he wrong? How is he? He just didn't use the word upthrust. He got it right. He just said there's more resistance.
Okay, an avalanche is not anything like a liquid in terms. It's a big solid lump of stuff going down a 45-degree angle, which means it's a sign of gravity, not gravity itself. So it's half gravity pushing it down. And I'm convinced that the original caller just misheard the numbers.
So you don't think it does go faster?
No, not at all.
Well, that doesn't make much sense. Lawrence, you think it does?
Well, yes.
You realise you're arguing with the Professor of the Public Understanding of Science at the University of Brighton, don't you? No pressure.
Well, that hasn't stopped me before.
No, carry on.
Well, no, I just if I'm completely wrong, then fair enough. But
words you'll never hear me say.
If the original question, if the person who asked the original question heard these numbers right, then the only way I can see that you'd get to an answer would be that the snow has less air resistance, but it has a high amount of weight because
it can't go faster than something falling straight through space. It just can't.
No, it can't.
Well, no, falling through space, that's different.
I think he misheard the question. Lawrence, you're not going to get a round of applause, but you have my love and affection.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that might be quite a decent consolation prize. Clearly not. Professor Howe, you presumably are expecting a round of applause.
Well, I never expected, but it's always an unexpected bonus.
But you're you're rejecting the parameters of the question. There's no way that an avalanche can go faster than 122 miles an hour.
Imagine, can it go faster than an anvil falling from an aeroplane? Of course it can't.
It can't, can it? No. It just can't.
Not at all.
It can't. No. I can't believe we've wasted so much time on this. It's all Lawrence's fault.
Oh, sorry.
Give Hal a round of... Are you back from your holidays yet?
Yes, I'm delighted. I'm truly delighted to be back from Torquay.
What it is, I would like to know if when people are working out in the gym and they start grunting, particularly if they're pumping iron or something like that, does the grunting actually help with physical performance?